But they're talking right now about doing Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul.
I know, I saw that.
Jake Paul apparently wants that fight. And he agreed to, I think it was 99% to 1, where Joshua gets 99% of the money and he gets 1%. See if that's true.
Got the Jake Paul thing. There's a lot of rumors that it says that 90-91 was accepted on his side, but I can't find like where he said it. I just like a lot of Instagram.
Maybe he doesn't care about the money. Like Jake Paul, like probably doesn't care about the money.
Well,
but
he has plenty of money, and if he won, oh my God, if he beat Anthony Joshua, good Lord. I mean, that's a big if, right?
I mean,
Anthony Joshua,
I do not think.
Olympic gold medalist, former heavyweight champion of the world. What he did to Francis Ngannou, like, good Lord.
Yes.
Do you want that smoke?
Yeah, I just think it's all about the promotion or whatever. I have no idea what the actual motivation is for it. That fight's not competitive.
Joe Rogan dove straight into the chaos of this wild matchup discussion, and you could practically hear the disbelief in his voice as he broke down the idea of Jake Paul taking on Anthony Joshua.
It's not competitive at all.
Well, it's a dangerous fight.
Yeah.
Because Joshua's going to try to make an example out of him, for sure.
And will.
I mean, Anthony Joshua's one of the biggest one-punch KO artists ever.
Yes.
I mean, he's a one-punch fucking night guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a great boxer, you know, very skillful.
Yeah. The Ngannou fight, we all thought it's like Ngannou with Fury. It's like, wow, this guy's in the mix now. He's in the mix. Let's see what happens. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. That's what happened.
Once he got going, Rogan didn't hold back. He gave Jake his props for being a legitimate athlete. Someone who wrestled at a high level and isn't just some internet clown pretending to fight. But the moment the conversation shifted to what would actually happen if Jake stepped in against a prime Olympic gold medalist, one-punch knockout machine like Anthony Joshua.
The AJ Paul news seemed to come to a surprise for many. How close are we to making that fight, Eddie?
Not that close. I mean, there are conversations. There's a lot of hurdles to overcome. But if he's serious about the fight, and if it can get made, there's a very good chance we'll do it.
Is it on Netflix, and what did DAZN have to say of the fact that it made?
One of the hurdles to overcome. But we were going to have an 8-round run out in December. Just so happens it might be against Jake Paul.
Rogan just laughed and basically said, look, this isn't even competitive. Until then, though, this matchup lives right on the edge of madness, hype, and entertainment. The exact place Jake Paul loves to be. And that's when the conversation shifts to the real reason this fight is even on Joshua's radar. The money is massive. Say what you want about Jake Paul, but he brings a tsunami of cash every time he laces up the gloves. And Joshua knows it.
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than he will fight anybody else that he can fight.
Legacy is already set in stone. Olympic gold, unified world champion, a global icon. But a monster payday never hurts, especially now. After that tough loss to Du Bois, Joshua went through a dark period. Frustrated, drained, questioning himself. So maybe a spectacle like this isn't just about boxing. Maybe it's about finding that spark again.
Hey, it's a great thing, so we can just shut that Jake Paul nonsense away. AJ's gonna knock him out.
Would it be similar, do you think, to the way AJ knocked out Francis Ngannou? Because Eddie Hearn's just said about the rage maybe AJ.
It'll be worse. It'll be worse. It'll be worse.
1 round?
1 round. But if he goes past 3 rounds, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Really?
Yeah. If AJ goes in there trying to mess around, trying to show his boxing skills, nah. He's gonna go in there and light him out. That's what we want.
Getting that excitement flowing again, stepping into a massive event where the pressure hits differently. And let's be honest, if Tommy Fury could outbox Jake Paul, then Joshua is practically guaranteed to knock Jake's head into the cheap seats. This fight might be wild, it might be chaotic, but for AJ, it could also be healing, motivating, and financially impossible to turn down.
I get it, right? If someone knocks on your door and says, do you want to fight Jake Paul for 100 million? You're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that 100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Like, well, why are you going to turn down 100 million? Like, right? So I don't blame AJ and his team for taking the money. I mean, again, these guys are fighters, they're prize fighters. The biggest prize is the money. It's not the belts, people, it's the money, especially when you've already won the belts.
And just when we're breaking down why Joshua is even entertaining the circus, the big money, the massive spotlight, and a chance to shake off that post-du boy's heartbreak. Boom. Tommy Fury crashes a conversation like he's kicking down the studio door, and he starts cooking immediately. He basically says, look, if I can beat Jake Paul, what do you think Anthony Joshua would do to him? And he's saying it with that classic Fury confidence. The kind that makes you wonder if he takes espresso shots made of pure chaos.
If I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make?
Tommy's laughing, roasting, and subtly reminding everyone that Jake couldn't even get past him. So how's he suddenly jumping to an Olympic gold medalist powerhouse? And honestly, he's got a point. We're over here talking fantasy matchmaking, and Tommy's just shaking his head like, you couldn't beat me, mate, and I'm not even AJ. It's savage, it's hilarious, and it's exactly the kind of reality check this whole Jake Paul heavyweight fever dream needed.
He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous.
And right after Tommy Fury roasted Jake so hard you could practically smell the smoke through the screen, we slide straight into Mike Coer stepping up with that breaking news energy. Like he just sprinted out a newsroom on fire. You can feel it. The guy is buzzing as he confirms the madness. AJ versus Jake Paul is actually happening. Not in theory, not in some fantasy matchup, but in a real ring with real gloves and real consequences.
Broke the news here a couple of minutes ago that Jake Paul will be fighting Anthony Joshua next month in December in Miami. I know that it's a major business, but still got to give Jake Paul major props, right? He's fighting Anthony Joshua. We saw what Joshua did to the last non-world-class boxer he faced, which was Francis Ngannou, flattened him in 2 rounds last year. So I think it's...
I mean, Carpenter's basically telling us that Jake went from a Netflix exhibition with Tank to waking up one morning and thinking, you know what? Forget the warm-up. I'm going straight for a heavyweight Terminator. And somehow, it all makes sense because we know why AJ took it. Easy prep, a massive payday, and the kind of low-risk, high-reward setup that makes accountants grin.
Is there a right to question AJ's ambition in the game when he takes fights against Jake Paul?
Sure, I think that's fair for anyone to question, but me personally, I can't blame him because it's a mega payday, and it seems like it's a low risk. I think it's low risk. If Jake Paul surprises us, then fair play to him. And for AJ to get a warm-up fight in, so to speak, and make a bundle of money doing it in a high-profile event, I think it's a win.
And the wild part? Just when we're all still processing Mike Copinger dropping that AJ versus Jake Paul bombshell, boom, here comes Bisping, kicking the door off its hinges like, oh, you thought this circus had limits? I swear, we went from, is this real, to, okay, now they're just speedrunning the sport. And Bisping's out here breaking it down like he's narrating a documentary about the world's most expensive dare.
Given all of that, both men are going to make $92 million each. So forget my opinion. Who gives a damn when you can bank $92 million for having a little move around in a boxing ring? Fair play. You can't on that. The reason I say it's a win-win for Jake Paul is because, listen, if he wins, then he's beating a former heavyweight boxing world champion, certainly one of the best heavyweights of his generation.
But Bisping goes full throttle. And honestly, I get it. He's basically saying, yeah, this matchup makes about as much sense as a toaster in a bathtub. But if someone waved $92 million at you, you'd be in that ring shadow boxing with a grin. And he's right. We can't pretend AJ isn't allowed to secure a retirement plan for his retirement plan.
Of course, a man that is way bigger than Jake Paul. Of course, it's a win. And if he loses, it's still a win for Jake Paul because he had the balls. He was man enough. He was willing to test himself. He would prove everyone wrong, all his critics, like me. By the way, I'm not like out there on an island by myself. Everyone says the same thing. And he would potentially prove all of those critics.
And after all that chaos, all that madness, is this real life? Or did boxing just slip on a treadmill and faceplant? Here's the bottom line. This fight is a perfect storm of spectacle, strategy, and sheer delirium. You and I both know this isn't just another matchup. This is boxing waking up and choosing pure entertainment. Jake's out here chasing the biggest dare of his entire life.
There's no way that he loses to Jake Paul. Unless it's an exhibition match. Now, Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua's promoter, came out and said, we are not interested in an exhibition match. We only want a professional rules fight.
And how would it work? Would it be an exhibition?
No exhibition. So we're not interested in exhibition. It's a real.
So drop your thoughts in the comments. Who you got? Which round? And is this genius matchmaking or pure cartoon energy? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.